Welcome to yoga. Today our real focus is going to be listen to your body. We're going to work over all the special parts, all our parts, and focus on how we feel when we move them and hold them. So come into a nice centering position, whatever you prefer, seated or supine. And close your eyes, begin your journey within. Just mindfully scan your body, seeing where everything is as you start. Seeing the body part or area, the joint, the muscles, whatever in your mind's eye, and not lingering too long, just noticing. And you finish your scan, bring your awareness to your breath. Starting with just however your breath is flowing right now. Natural breath. Noticing the qualities of your breath. In length of the inhale, length of the exhale. Notice if there's a pause between inhale and or exhale. Just consciously relax your face, your jaw, your neck, shoulders, as you watch your breath flowing in, flowing out. No judgment when you listen or watch your body, just acceptance. And now begin belly breathing. So if you want to put your hand on your belly, just consciously lengthen, deepen, even out your breath. Inhale and exhale. So that as you breathe, begin your inhale, your belly rises gently. Diaphragm is pushing down on your organs there, creating space as the breath continues up. Rib cage expands all the way up, opens your chest just gently. It happens, you don't make it happen. And on the exhale, as the air exits through your nose, rib cage softens back towards center. The end of the exhale, your belly just gently comes in. So just follow the slow, deep, even belly breaths for a little bit longer. Now continue the belly breaths, but we're going to make it a meditation on the breath. So all your awareness just become absorbed in the movement of your body as you breathe slowly, deeply, evenly. You can notice the rise and fall of your belly, chest. Just imagine the breath moving out to all parts of your body. And keep your focus on any movement, any sensation that the breath causes in your body. Simple as that. Just immerse yourself in the sensation of breath. If your mind begins to wander, just gently come back to this sensation of breath. And now let go of the pranayama and the meditation, and based on what you've seen in your centering, create an intention for your practice. Positive affirmation or aspiration. Repeat it a few times in your own mind, and remember that it's there to revisit if you need motivation or just to help you focus. And we're going to begin practice today on our backs. So lie down on your mat, lengthen out your legs. Bring your arms behind you, reaching out in two directions. On an inhale, lengthen through your feet, through your hands, spread your toes, spread your fingers. Exhale, let everything relax. And on an inhale, lengthen through your right leg and right arm, so lengthen the whole right side of your body. And then relax that on the exhale. Your next inhale, lengthen through the left side of your body. Keep your fingers and toes spread. Exhale, release. Now we'll diagonal, lengthen out through the right foot and the left arm. Exhale, release it. Inhale, left foot, right arm. Exhale, soften. And one more time, both feet, both hands, neutral. Stretch out your whole body. Exhale, release. And then draw your knees, both knees into your chest. Take a hold around your legs or thighs. Rock right and left. Take any movement that you want here. And then raise both feet up toward the ceiling. And reach both hands up toward the ceiling. And we're going to focus on the wrists and the ankles. So start by circling the wrists and the feet and the hands around. And so we're listening to the body as we go here. So this is seeing how you reverse your direction. So this is the ankles and the wrist joints. Just see how they move, how they feel. And then flex toes and fingers back toward your head and then up toward the ceiling. Notice that the difference in the range of mobility of wrists and ankles. And then let your feet come down to the mat. Raise your feet up so that there's a right angle between your lower legs and your thighs. Hands can be on the knees or on the mat, and just begin to make circles. So bring your knees in toward your chest and then knees out to the side and then back to the center. So your knees are moving in opposite directions. Start small and increase the size of your circle. Knees are circling around the hips. If your hands are on your knees, you get a little movement in your shoulders as well. And then pause in the middle and reverse. So this time your knees are going to go out and then up in front and then out to the sides. So the circles are going to reverse their direction. So notice here, listen to your body here, listen to what's going on, feel, sense what's going on in your hips. So again, not judging, just seeing how your range of movement is. And then pause in the middle. Cross your ankles and rock up to sitting. Oops, I left something out. Go back down, sorry. Lower back down. Keep your knees over your hips bent. Bring your arms down by your side. Press into your finger bases. So fingers are spread. We're going to do bicycles. So this is a core. We're focusing here on your core area. So firm that up. Press your low back toward the mat and slowly bring your right knee into your chest as you extend your left leg and begin bicycles. So moving slowly, keeping your core engaged. So low back, press to the mat, lengthen out on one side as you flex your hip on the other side. So this is knees and hips, flexing, extending, and slow it down and reverse. So you're pedaling backwards. Awareness to the hip and knee joints and the quadricep muscles and your core. Waking up the core. And now hug both knees into your chest. Take any little movement here. And then we'll come up, cross your ankles, rock up to sitting and come around to all fours, tabletop. Wrists are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips, on the tops of your feet. Press a little more into the bases of your fingers. Take a little stress off your wrists. On an exhale, round your back like a cat. Spinal flexion. On an inhale, let your belly, chest drop through your arms, cat, cow. So just a few rounds of cat, cow, moving slowly. Your breath is slow, deep and even. Ujjayi, if you practice Ujjayi. Breath. So here our focus is on the spine. Flexing, extending, just noticing sensation in the spine. If any movement causes pain, that means your body's saying stop, back off a little bit or a lot. Okay, then pause there, come back to neutral, come up on your knees. You can have a blanket under your knees if your knees are sensitive here. Tuck your toes. So we're going to be focusing on the feet here, the toes, and sit back on your heels. This is pretty strong, stretching the backs of the soles of your feet and the toes. So see if you can sit here for a few breaths. You can always come out and go back in. Feel here, this is probably a pretty strong sensation. So give yourself permission to come out when effort turns to struggle. Okay, then come up, come back to the tops of your feet. Bring your hands to the mat. Turn your fingers around to face your knees. So here we're going to stretch the backs, the palms and backs of our wrists. You can stay right over your wrists, or to increase sensation, see about bringing your hips back a little bit. Find a place where the stretch is sustainable for a little bit and it feels good. Keep breathing. Slow, deep, even breath. That's always the constant in practice. If you cannot maintain that breath, that means your body's saying that you need to back off. Okay, now turn your hands around. Let your hips come back into child's pose. Rest your head on your arms or a block. Anything that allows you to just release. Let everything go down into the mat just for a little recovery. And come back up to all fours. Take your right foot back. You're on the balls of your toes. Lengthen through the heel. And as you're lengthening through the heel, also bring the right hip forward. So your leg is lengthening in two directions. Root down through your, whatever's touching the mat, through your foundation. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Keep your hips level. And then on your next inhale, raise your left hand. Breathe. Gaze is down toward the mat, maybe a little bit ahead of the hands. Keep lengthening out through your right foot and your left hand. This is spinal extension of your hip, shoulder, and then bring your left hand down, right knee down. Stand up on your knees and just move your wrists a little bit. And we'll do the other side. Left leg back, press out through your left heel and gently forward through your left hip, so your leg is stretching in two directions. Inhale, left leg comes up, right arm goes out. Lengthen out. Follow your breath. This also is working the core. Okay, then right hand down, left knee down. Come back, bring your knees apart, and then your hips back into a wide leg child's pose. Listen to your body. Notice what your body's telling you about that. Feel the energy moving around. Then inhale back up to all fours. Walk your hands out about one full hand length in front. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Engage your core. Slowly begin to lower your chest right between your hands. Keep your hips up. Let your hips be the last thing to lower. Come onto your front body in a prone foundation. Rest your forehead on your hands just for a couple breaths. Now bring your hands right next to your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Forehead is on the mat. Lengthen out through your legs. Let your thighs internally rotate a little bit. Thighs are going to stay on the ground. Press your pelvis into the mat. And on an inhale, just lift your head up, cobra pose. Just a little bit. So your gaze is going to be out ahead of you about a foot down toward the mat or the floor. So upper back. About bringing your chest forward through your arms. You can try hovering your hands over the mat, or you can use gentle pressure to lift your chest up a little bit higher. So you're looking for the rest down again. Cobra pose, think about creating the length and arch in your upper, upper back, the thoracic spine, as opposed to down in your low back. So let's try that one more time. Hands under your shoulders. Inhale, forward and up. Don't worry about getting high. Keep your tailbone tucked. Breathe. Okay, then bring your hands, your forehead to your hands and rest. Bend your knees and take your legs side to side. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. Come back to all fours. Tuck your toes. Come on up into downward dog. And before we hold downward dog, take some movement here. So pedal your feet, anything that feels good. Spread your finger bases, press into the ball mounts of the fingers. You can raise a leg. Any movement that your body, listen to your body, what it feels good. And then eventually come into a held Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So in down dog, this is working your legs, stretching the hamstrings and the back so your heels are pressing toward the mat, your tailbone lifts up toward the ceiling. Fingers spread, press down through your hands in the mat. sure your neck is loose and free. Take it. Yes, no. Shoulder blades together in the back. Chest moves toward your thighs. You can take a deep knee bend here and then gradually straighten your legs, or not. Keep them bent. And then walk your feet toward your hands or your hands toward your feet and come into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Just hang here, knees bent a little or a lot. Again, listen to your body. Do what your body is asking for, what feels good. Any arms, you can take hold of opposite elbows, hold behind your legs. Just let your arms hang. Again, make sure your neck is not tense. Breathe. And then any way that's safe for you, come all the way up to standing. Tadasana. Start with Tadasana. So look down at your feet. Lift and spread your toes. Balance on the four corners of your feet. Big toe, round, little toe, the sides of your heels. Gently let your toes go down, but keep pressing gently down through your feet. Make a light muscle with your quads. Never gripping or grasping. That restricts the flow of energy. Take a little tuck in your tailbone. Lift your hip points up. Long through the side waist. Shoulders up, back down. Externally rotate your arms. Palms face a little forward. Bring your chin back a little bit. And lengthen through the crown of your head. Now let go of any extra effort. So soften just enough. Make sure you keep your alignment. Face, jaw, neck relaxed. Come back to your breath. Close your eyes if you have the balance. Come back to that immersion in the breath. So just feel energy moving on the inhale. Exhale, release whatever you don't need. And now open your eyes. Let your hands come down by your side. Keep your upright posture. We're going to do some work on the neck. So the first movement is called hen. So lengthen up through the crown of your head. Take your take your neck forward, chin forward, and then back. So like a chicken does. Forward, back, forward, back. There's a moth flying around here. Forward, back. So this helps reposition your neck, strengthen the muscles that keep your neck, keep your head from jutting forward. So there's a few more times. Forward. Exaggerate like a chicken. Okay, now we'll work on the lateral cervical spine, the muscles on the side of the neck. So lift your right arm, bring it to your left ear. Gently, just not tugging, but bring your right ear toward your right shoulder. Take your left arm, spread your fingers, reach gently down toward the mat. And bring your awareness to the stretch. Don't tug, please. Just gentle stretch up the left side of your neck. Cervical spine is bending laterally. And as you inhale, inhale right into the stretch. Send your breath right there. Exhale, soften. Stay with the sensation of breath moving in your body. And then inhale, back up, right arm comes down, roll your shoulders back a couple times. Inhale, left arm up, over toward the right ear. Gently bring your left ear toward your shoulder. Stretch out and down through your right arm. Can carry a lot of tension in our necks, so this can help to release that. And then inhale back up, bring your arms down, roll your shoulders out a little bit. Step your feet a little wider apart, perhaps shoulder width. And we'll bring that stretch through the whole spine and all the way from our feet to the crown of our head. So inhale your right arm up. Your left hand travels down your left thigh, right arm over your ear. Press down a little more into your right foot and out through your right fingers. And find that comfortable place. Breathe into the whole right side of your body from your foot out through your fingertips. Your gaze can be straight ahead or up toward your arm or down toward your left foot. Your choice. Breathe. It can feel a little constricted when you're side bending to breathe, so come out a little bit. Find the place where your breath feels easy. And then inhale back up. Exhale here. Inhale, left arm up. Right hand slides down your right thigh. Keep your arm over your ear. Press down a little bit into your left foot. Out through your left fingertips. Find the sweet spot on this side. Your spine doesn't necessarily love lateral bends, so don't overdo it. You won't hurt yourself, but just find what feels good. And then inhale back up. Swirl your hips around a little bit, both directions. And then shoulder rolls. So this is the shoulder joint here. Bring your shoulders up to your ears, back, down, slow circles. Backwards with your shoulders, opening the front body, then the back, and then pause and go the other way, so forward and back. Keeping your awareness right up in the shoulder joint. Shoulder blades broaden and then come together. And then pause. And we're going to do a balance pose, tree pose, which core, think about your core. Your hips going to be externally rotated. So find your support on both feet. Hands can be on your hips. Firm up your core. Come up onto your right toes so the weight goes into your left foot. So find that balance point there. Have your gaze point, your drishti, which helps to still your mind. And then externally rotate your right knee and bring it, you can keep it right, your toes on the floor or to your lower leg or up onto your inner thigh, just not on your knee. So at each stage, find your balance. And then you can bring your arms into it like branches. You can do any kind of movement. So have fun with your tree pose. Have a playful attitude. If you come out, just take a breath, set up again, and go into it. It's practice. Can even help to have a smile on your face. Your balance will get better with practice. Okay, then come out with as much mindfulness and control as you can. Shake everything out, especially your standing leg. And try that on the other side. So spread your toes, both feet first. Press down into your right leg, come up onto your left toes. Externally rotate your left knee, hip, leg. Find your foot placement and then move into your tree. You can move your gaze. If you want a little more challenge, you can raise your gaze up to the ceiling. You can bring a twist into it. Have fun. Keep your slow, deep, even breath, focusing on the breath as well as having your drishti on something that's not moving. Focusing on your breath can help too. Okay, then come out with as much control as you can. And bring your feet about hip width apart. We're going to do some movement here, some half sun salutations. Ardha, half Surya Namaskar. So starting in mountain, inhale, spread your fingers, look up toward your hands, exhale, swan dive forward, tilt your tailbone up, then inhale, chair, exhale, arms back around to Anjali Mudra. Modify your half suns any way to suit you. You don't have to do chair, you can do a half lift. You can do any arms in your chair. Just 2 breath vinyasa. Forward bending. Any way that suits you. Bring some energy, heat into your body. And the next time you come to your hands in Anjali Mudra, when you complete your half sun. Just come back briefly for a few breaths to mountain pose. Mindfully come into your mountain pose. Close your eyes if you have the balance. Reconnect with your breath. Feel the energy. And then inhale, open your eyes, inhale your arms up, swan dive into forward bend. Bend your knees, plant your hands on the mat, step back into downward facing dog, not to stay. Inhale your knees to the mat, bring your legs out to the side and come onto your seat. Stretch your legs out in front. Flex your feet, Dandasana, staff pose. You can have your hands down next to your hips to help lengthen out through the crown of your head, lengthen your spine up. Or just take a few breaths, stretching out through your feet and up through the crown of your head. Now you should have a strap handy. I should have warned you of this, but you can pause the video if you need to grab a strap or a tie or something. This is a tie down for a car, so if I hit myself with this buckle here, I'm going to knock myself out. Anyway, take your bend your left knee, externally rotate like in tree. Bring your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. And take the strap around the ball of your left foot. One end of the strap in each hand. You can use that traction to lift up through the crown of your head. And then on an exhale, pull your belly in and begin to come forward. So you want your chest to be a little bit turned, a little bit of a turn toward your left thigh. Come forward. So you don't want to round your back here. So just as long as you come forward, bending, flexing at the hip here as far as you can, keeping your spine straight. So as you breathe here, inhale lengthens this. Every inhale, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Exhale, perhaps a little more forward bend here. Or hip flexion, actually. So as you're pushing your left foot against the strap, at the same time bring your left hip back a little bit. So like we did on all fours earlier, where you were lengthening your leg in two directions. That's what you're doing here. That's a nice stretch of the hamstring. Really bring your awareness into the back of your left leg. Breathe into that area and see if you can feel a little bit of a release. At the same time, you might be feeling a little bit of a release in your right hip. Don't force that knee down at all, but it might go down a little bit. Janu Shirshasana. And then inhale, come back up. Straighten out your right leg and just tap your legs against the ground. Bend your left leg, bring the left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Just press gently there. The strap comes around the ball of your right foot. Make sure sure you start by lifting up on an inhale. Lift right up, tall spine. Exhale, hinge right at the hip crease, keeping your back straight and long. As if you're going to put your belly right on your thigh. And each inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, belly in. Keep your belly in the whole time. You might move just a micro amount, centimeter, millimeter. Your breath is constant, slow, even, steady. Press against the strap, and also just energetically bring your right hip back. Just getting a nice stretch of your hamstring all up and down the back of the muscles on the back of your right leg. Inhale, come up, take the strap off. Lengthen out your left leg. Shake out your legs, tap them. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat to the mat. Hip width apart. Hug your knees and bring your head down toward your knees. Relax into your knees as much as you can. And then come up, stretch your arms out. Activate your core, pull your belly in, lower down, one vertebra at a time, as slowly as you can. Come onto your back. Keep your knees bent. Feet flat on the floor. Lift and spread your toes. Set them down. Arms can be by your side, palms pressing into the mat, or elbows bent, palms facing each other, fingers spread. Do a little bridge wave. And then hold the bridge. So on an inhale, press into your feet, your arms, lift your hips, keep your neck long. Exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time, slowly, mindfully. And a few more rounds of bridge wave. Ulola. If your knees splay out, you can put a block between your thighs to help keep them aligned, or press into the big toe mound. That also activates the adductors, the muscles in the inside of the thighs. Now your choice, you can keep moving in bridge wave, or you can hold your bridge. Maybe clasping your hands under your back, bring your shoulder blades a little closer together on the back. Remember to think of lifting your chest, opening your chest, lifting it up toward your chin, not chin toward chest. And a line of energy from your hips right out through the tops of your legs, out your knees. Keep breathing. And when you're come back down. Take your knees into your chest. Take any movement, rocking right and left, maybe a happy baby. And then keeping your knees bent, bring your feet back to the mat. Arms out, shoulder height, palms face up. Take an inhale in the center. Then pull your belly in, navel toward the mat, and let your knees move over to the side. Inhale back to center. Belly in on the exhale, knees to the other side. Windshield wipe. So slow movement with your breath. Exploring the movement in your hips. Little twist in the spine. You can experiment with moving your feet further apart for wide leg windshield wipes, or zip your legs together so that one foot comes off the mat for a different kind of windshield wipe. So experiment and just keep your awareness really in your body to see the difference of the different foot configuration. Your gaze also can move with your knees or in the opposite direction or stay neutral. So with some of the movements we've already done, especially with the cervical spine, you might have an idea of what choice might be best for you after listening to your body in earlier movements. And the same goes with your hips. We've moved all the main joints and focused on that movement throughout practice. So here you can maybe use what you've learned to modify this pose. What's best for you today. Now pick a side and hold your twisted windshield wipe on that side. We'll hold it on the other side too. I'm going to hold it for 1.5 minutes on each side. So settle in, modify any way that feels the best for you. And I pretty much can guarantee your sides will be different, so just treat them individually. And once you get into a comfortable place, you can use any support, block, or change your leg configuration. And send the inhale to the area of sensation. And then exhale, soften anywhere you can. Just give your body permission to release and relax. Let it be supported in any way so that and relax. Your slow, deep, even breath is a signal to your body that it can relax. A few more seconds on this side. Now inhale back to center. Just take a couple breaths in the middle, in center, neutral. Get balanced here. And then when you're ready, bring your belly in on the exhale. Move your legs to the other side. Make any adjustments to the twist on this side that fit what your body needs here. Does not have to be the same as the other side. So a held pose can become a kind of meditation. You can meditate, follow, become immersed in your breath. You can focus on sending the breath to the area of sensation. On the inhale and exhaling, feel the release. Focus on feeling a little bit of letting go. Okay, and now inhale your knees back to center. Take any last movement or ready to move into Shavasana. So take any movements that your body's asking for before you gather your props for Shavasana, and choose the Shavasana position that just feels right for you today. You might want to try something different. So some options are legs up the wall or legs on a chair, from the knees to the feet up on a chair. Rolled mat, rolled towel, rolled blanket under your knees or your spine. Cover yourself with a blanket. Eye bag, weight bag on your abdomen. There are many ways to do Shavasana. You just need to be balanced, symmetrical, right and left, comfortable, and expending as little energy as possible. So that means supported. So your body doesn't have to do the work. Only thing your body needs to do is breathe, and it will do that without your help. So no pranayama, no meditation, just a total surrender and being in the moment. Gently bring your awareness back to the space. Waken your body with small movements, fingers, toes, perhaps roll your head side to side, and stretch in any way that feels good. And bring one knee at a time into your chest and come over onto your side, cradling your head in your arms. Just take a few moments to see yourself at the end of practice, your body, your emotions, your mind. Perhaps revisit your intention. Come back to your breath. Just slowly deepen and lengthen it. Relax your face. Use your arms to bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Hands resting in the mudra of your choice. Palms up in your lap or on your legs. Lengthen up gently through the crown of your head. And then before we end practice, just take 2 or 3 slow, deep, even belly breaths. Full inhale. Full exhale. And follow the breath, the movement of breath in your body. Imagine the prana, life force, going to every cell in your body. The light in me bows to and honors the very same light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks for coming to yoga, and I hope to see you here next week. Bye.